welcome. Ever felt like everything is broken in your life? Everything is in pieces, and even some of the pieces you've no idea where they are. And then in the middle of that brokenness, somebody tells you you have a potential, you can do something, you are called, maybe to be a leader, or you can do something. But in your mind or right in your heart, you're like, are you for real? Are you joking me? And you find, doubt, and you find that sometimes everyone can see it, but not you. And so today, I want us to look at a familiar story that we know, a story of a man called Gideon, whom God used despite his fears, despite his doubts. And we will see, according to the story of Gideon, it's in Judges 6, we will see us, ourselves, in the story of Gideon, and we'll see the goodness or the mercies of God. And today we introduce the story of Gideon through the Gideon, and they are from Israel. They are Israelites, and the one says that the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord, for 7 years he gave them into the hands of Midianites. And when they were given the hands of Midianites, the Midianites were really harsh on them. They destroyed them, they destroyed their crops. And so the Israelites, they were hiding the hand, to look for places to build their houses in the mountains, in the caves and the caves, because there was no peace. It was so bad that whenever the Israelites planted their crops, the Midianites, Amalekites, and other eastern people invaded the country. They camped on the land and ruined the crops all the way to Gaza. And that is how bad it was. They did nothing. Everything they did was destroyed, and their lives became impossible. I think it was, can say, it's like hell. It was really bad. And, the children of Israel, they know God. But this particular time, they decided to worship the idols, and that is why now God had let them go and allow now the Midianites to destroy them. And so in the middle of all this chaos, they remember they have a God, a merciful God. And so even in the middle of the chaos of your life, even in the middle of what you've done, and we love our God is so faithful and He's so merciful. He is our deliverer. Whether you brought it upon yourself, whether it found you, trust me, God remains our deliverer. And you'll see in the story of Israelites what happened, after the Midianites had really made their life terrible. What happened is that when the Israelites cried, after all that, the Israelites, they cried out to the Lord for help. Now they remember they have a God, and they know this God, He hears, they know He hears. And so we see a merciful God. They turn to Him, and God hears. The one says that when the Israelites cried out to the Lord because of Midian, He sent them a prophet who said, so it means God has heard them, and sending a prophet, it's a sign that it is not done. It is not all finished. Sometimes in our lives, we find ourselves in a situation when we do maybe it's something that you did, and the situation is very bad, and you are like, it is over, it is finished. That is a lie, and that is a voice from the devil. Because God mercies, it is beyond our imagination. God's love, endures forever. God does not, yes, you've done bad, you've done wrong, but His love overshadows everything. His love washes everything. The death of Christ now is enough to cover. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter what you've not done. The real game here is to know that He cares for me. He will clean me up. He will forgive me. He loves me. The one that says that as high Sky is the mountain. That is how his love is for us, and his forgiveness from east to the west. So we will never learn out of God's love, and we will never learn out of God's forgiveness. And so we see the only problem that can then be if you don't remember to cry to God. And when things get worse on your case, you maybe either you run to your friends, you run to your family, or you run to yourself. And you know that running to yourself or running to the other people, they will not offer you the help that you need. The only one who can help you at this particular time is God and God Himself. And so we see we see a merciful God when children of Israel cried, they sent him these prophets. And so the prophet said that this is what the Lord God of Israel says. I brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. I rescued you from the hand of Egyptians, and I delivered you from the hand of all your oppressors. I drove them out before you and gave you their land. I said to you, I am the Lord your God. Do not worship the gods of Amorites in whose land you live, but you have not listened to me. Now you can get it black and white. The reason why God is mad, or it's rather angry with the children of Israel, when they came here, they took the guns of now the people they found here, Kina Amorites and the Midians, and they started worshiping them. And you know, God is a jealous God. He does not share his glory with anyone. And so them having left God, and God is like, okay, let's see. And that is when now God allows, they couldn't have fought them, they couldn't have destroyed them without God giving permission. And so we see now God letting them off to the hands of Midians, now where they are destroyed, and at that in their destruction, in that pain, that is when they cry to God. And we see God answering their prayers. And so from then, now the story changes. Now that is when now the angel of the Lord came and sat down under the oak of Opla, oak in Opla that belonged to Ash as the Ambezilite, where his son Gideon was the lesson. Now we are introduced to Gideon, and we see now even this Gideon guy, he is threshing wheat in the wine place somewhere down instead of putting the wheat up there where there is wind so that the chaff can go. He is hiding. That is how bad things were. Because if they saw you had something, they will come for it. And sometimes in life, it reaches us to that point when everything is so bad, when everything there's no, you don't know east from west or from where. Everything seems broken. You have no idea how to get out of the situation you are. But I'm telling you today, the one has told us when the Israelites cried to God, He heard them and He sent them a prophet. So today, maybe you are there. You think your problem is bigger than idol worshiping. You think your problem, maybe it's something very small, but the devil is magnifying it in your head. And if you don't know you have a father, you don't know you have Jesus who died for you, you learn or you die in pain. You die in shame. You live in caves. You live hiding. While Jesus is like, I'm here. Come on. I want to help you. And so we see this now when the angel comes and finds Gideon making wine. Threshing wheat in the wine place so that he's not seen by the enemies, now the Midianites. The angel of the Lord appeared to the Gideon and he said to them, look at this. The Lord is with you, mighty warrior. And I can imagine Gideon saying, even maybe looking behind, is he talking to somebody else or is it me? Because we have a God who is so caring, a God who sees beyond you. That's why I started by saying maybe somebody tells you have a potential to do something and you don't see it. Maybe there's somebody sent by God to tell you you can do it, but you are so close, you can't do it. And so we see a God. Now, another side of God who sees beyond. Gideon he is afraid. He is hiding in the where he's now threshing the wheat. and God finds them here, they're there. So sometimes you don't have to be so scared, or maybe you are. If God has called you, guys, He will get you where you are. It doesn't matter how doubting you are, like doubting Thomas. He will not disqualify you because you are in doubt. He will not disqualify you because you are afraid. He will meet you at the point of your weakness. He will meet you at the point of your fear. Because when life breaks, God builds. God is a builder. And so He will build you from that point zero where nobody else can pick you, where nobody can believe you, where even you yourself, you don't believe you can do it. And so we see the story unfolding. Now things are getting good. And we see now this guy Gideon, now he has the guts to respond to the angel, and he's telling them, pardon me, my Lord. Gideon replied, but if the Lord is with us, you see, even now he's still doubting. And he says, if God is with us, why has all this happened to us? Where are all his wonders that our ancestors told us about? They have heard about God. They have heard about what they did for them. The story of the wilderness, for Red Sea, the plagues in Egypt, where God delivered them from Pharaoh, and they have heard all those stories. But one thing I know for real, maybe they have not experienced them. And today I'm asking you, maybe you've been hearing people giving testimonies, people saying what God has done for them. And today maybe you are asking, who is that God? I have heard people talk about him, but I myself have never experienced him. And today, even as we continue with this story, I want you to cry to God, just the way Israelites did, and tell him, God, I want to have experience with you. I want to experience you. I want to have a new experience with you, God. Just as my neighbor is saying, that as my friend says, that he has seen you, he have heard you, you've come through for his business, Lord. I want to have an experience with you. And I can tell you for real, God is so merciful. He is so care. He is so loving that he will give you that experience that you need with him, because that is his business. His business is to bring people back to him. Remember, there's a video that I said about God being the shepherd, and he said, their sheep, they are out. And if you are there and you feel you are yearning for that, I would like to know him for myself. Just cry to him. He hears you, and he will make that experience possible, because I know it is true. I've gone through it and I know it is possible. He will give you those experiences and you'll know him in a way that you've never known him. Back to our story. And so Gideon now is telling the angel, did not the Lord bring us up out of the Egypt? But now the Lord has abandoned us and given us into the hand of Midian. He's looking now the situation, maybe, and he's saying, yes, we had, but now we don't see this. We had, yes, but nothing seems like it. Just the way I've said, you've heard people say, you've heard people give testimony, but for your case, that's another story. I've never seen it, and I would like to see it. It is not bad to ask God for an experience. It is not. It is very okay. And He is really, really willing to have such a time with you, to have that communion with Him. He's really missing you. And so go ahead. Just the way you can hear Gideon complaining. It's okay to complain. It's okay to ask God, where are you, Lord? I would like to have an experience with you. I would like to have an encounter with you. And He's like ever, ever ready to come in your heart, to come in your life and give you those experiences. And so we see now, after Gideon saying all what he had to do, to say, the Lord turned to him and said, go in the strength you have and save Israel out of Midian's hand. Am I not sending you? Imagine, in the middle of such fear, in the middle of doubt, like if there was something to measure doubt, maybe he was something percent doubt and fear. And now that person who can't even go out, He is on now, he's being told, go and save your people. You are the one God has chosen to save your people. And you yourself, you are hiding and you are the leader. You tell me, you just create that scenario in your head. You are the leader and you are the one who is hiding. And now God is mandating you. He's commanding, go save your people. And we can see, and we can see the angel now after telling Gideon, now go save, go in the strength you have and save Israel out of Midian's hand. And he's asking, am I not sending you? Whom do you think you are, boy? Whom do you think I am? It is God. We are talking about God, guys. The God, the creator of heaven and earth. The God who holds everything you see together. The God who makes us breathe. That if only in this air we breathe, guys, everything, including the animals, will be down. That is the God who is telling you, wake up. Wake up, you have the potential to do it. Wake up, you have the potential to do that business. Wake up, you have the potential to run that family. Wake up, you have the potential to be the leader. And you are still calling there hiding. And he's saying, I know it. And if I'm calling it out, it is because it's there. God will never to do something. God will never ask you to do something you cannot do. So if he's telling you to do something, trust me, he knows you can handle it. He knows you have the power. Remember, we are made in the image and the likeness of God. And if you can just be able to digest that I have God in me, that I have Christ in me, I have Holy Spirit in me, nothing can stop me. I am unstoppable. I cannot fail because one who sent me doesn't know what it means to fail. I cannot fail. I cannot be defeated. And you see, the argument continues with Gideon and the angel of the Lord. And Gideon is speaking back now. He's telling him, pardon me, my Lord. Gideon replied, but how can I save Israel? Now you see, my clan is the weakest. Now he has come up with a list of excuses why he cannot save the Israelites. And he's telling him, my clan is the weakest in the Manasseh, and I am the least in my family. You know, Tasha, he is telling God, he has all the reasons why. I am not educated. I don't know the Bible well. I don't know. I'm not good at that. I don't know how to handle that. And you are giving, excuse me, reasons or excuses why you cannot do it. And we can see Gideon fighting back simply because he is looking just himself. He's looking himself. He's looking in his own capabilities. He's looking in his own powers. And according to himself, according to what he thinks he can do, the only that Gideon has at this particular time, let's be real, is fear. That is one thing we are swallowed of, fear and doubt. And in the middle of the fear and doubt, God sees a confident man. God sees a leader. And God is calling out the leader in you. God is calling that bold person in you. You may be a man or a woman, but God sees beyond the physical. He sees your spirit. He sees you are capable. He sees you can do it. And that is why he has the guts to call you out or to tell you, you are able to do it. You can do it, trust me. And so the still continues. And the Lord now is speaking back and he's telling him, the Lord answered, I will be with you, and you will strike down all the Midianites, leaving none alive. Praise the name of the living God. Now we see the story will continue, and Gideon will ask the angel for some, he still wants to prove some proof, if you are the one really calling me or setting me. And God is so merciful. He did all that Gideon had asked him. But today, I want us to think and look at our lives and see sometimes the reason why we cut ourselves or we disqualify ourselves for no reason. You see, up to this particular time where we've reached, it was 16, Judges 6 verse 16, the Lord answered, I'll be with you. And when God says, I'll be with you, it means it's not about you anymore. Every time you find God saying, I will, I will make you. It's not about you. You are only a vessel. God wants to use you as a vessel. Maybe it's in your family. You are the one God has called to stand for your family. Maybe you are the one who is God has blessed with something. Maybe you are the one in your home, in your village, in your job, in your area where you work. You are the one God has pointed because you want a change in the place where you work. You want a change in your home. You want a change in your community. And so you being, maybe people think you are the least, and you also think you are the least according to how people tells you, or maybe you think because now, according to your credentials, you think you don't have this kind of degree, you don't have this kind of experience. Now you think that you are not qualified. And one thing you have to know, God qualifies the one He calls, and He's God, guys. Let me tell you, He calls what is dead back to life, and He creates what is not there. So it doesn't matter. It's a skill you think you don't have. Who do you think God is? If He created you, what is that skill you think you don't have that He can't create? And even if you had it and it's dead, why do you think God cannot bring it back to life, guys? And so when we learn to trust God, when we learn to trust His voice, when we learn to trust that if He calls you something, if He calls because He calls you beyond what people sees you, He's calling you beyond what you are calling yourself. You have to know He means business. God is not a man that He may lie or He may change his mind. If we say you are a great warrior, that is who you are. And so today I want to call you and I want to ask you, what is that has broken you so much? Maybe the story of Gideon, they were broken by the severe attacks from the Midians. But we can see God even in the fear, even in the places where we think he will not find you. He will find you there. So today, where are you hiding? Where are you? What is it that has crippled you? What is it? Is it people? Is it maybe in the marriage? Is it your spouse? Is it your children? Is it life itself? I want to tell you, when life breaks, there is a God who builds. And this building now is what you are going to cling on. You are going to cry out to God, and you are going to cry to me whatever is that has brought you down. He has the power to resurrect. He has the power to raise it back, and you are going to get out of your hiding place, and you are going to step out, and you are going to cry to God, and He will send the help that is needed. He will change everything around because He's the God who changes. He is God of possibilities. It doesn't matter how far you think you've gone. It doesn't matter how far you think it has stayed. Because when God comes in, guys, He came in 4 days later when Lazarus had died and He lost him. So for God, it is not, if you can hear this voice, it is the right time. It doesn't matter how long you think it has stayed. Maybe it is 38 years, maybe it's how long, because in God, there's no place there's nothing like it has been there for so long. Because when God shows up, everything turns. There's no protocol when God comes in. And so that's why we can see in the hiding place there, hiding place of where Gideon is hiding, God finds him there and He calls him who he's supposed to be, and he goes out and he rescues the children of Israel. Maybe the next time we read, we'll continue and we see how obedient, how when Gideon decided to obey, what happened. So this time, this minute, wake up, stop hiding. You have something God is seeing in you. Maybe somebody has called it out, but you're still doubting. But I want to tell you, that person maybe is God sent. He can see something you don't see. He can hear something you don't hear. But just if you chose to obey, if you chose to wake up and honor the call, God is with you, just as the way He was with Gideon. And you have to know it's not about you. It's not about your qualifications. Well, if He calls you, He'll qualify you. And whatever else that is needed, He will provide for you. So thanks so much for watching. And remember to subscribe as we continue. And remember, even if it's broken and you think it's broken beyond repair, bring it to God. He is the best. Well, he is the best when we come to repairing. Trust him. He'll know how to do with your life. Bring it to him. Thank you. And remember to subscribe.